Nate Diaz, Brendan Schaub, latest beef. Let me know who you guys are on the side of. I'm on team Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub did nothing for Nate Diaz to come out and say what he said on social media, calling him the P word. There was no need for that at all. All he was doing was talking about a friend and training partner in Shane Carwin and the difficulties he's dealing with after a UFC career, CTE, things like that. Brendan responds with a big tirade talking about you'll never beat me in a fight. We could fight if you want to, blah, blah, blah. And I think this comes from Brendan Shaw being tired of being the punching bag, the punchline. He's tired of being the butt of the joke. And I think part of this comes with having children. He's got a son, and his son is getting older. And, he don't really need his son being in school with classmates showing him, look at what Nate Diaz said about your father. Nate Diaz is one of the more popular people in the sport, so that's a very possible scenario to happen. Brendan Schaub is a public figure. I would not be surprised if something like that were to happen. And, take away everything else. Take away how he would personally feel about Nate Diaz's social media posts, but just the fact that you have that added into the back of your head. Oh, do I really need my son's classmates teasing him about this, talking about, oh, look at what Nate called your father, Nate Diaz, someone who's always, anytime this guy opens his mouth, he makes headlines in the media in terms of MMA and things like that. If he has a fight prediction, it's posted on ESPN, all things like that. So Nate Diaz is a factor. He is influential. For Nate Diaz to come out and call someone this, it's going to be talked about. So I think that was part of the motivating factor. I could be reaching there. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And I'm riding with Brendan Schaub for that reason. I am Team Brendan. And I also think, not for nothing, but Brendan Schaub would beat up Nate Diaz in an MMA fight, in a boxing match, in a jiu-jitsu match. They're just simply too far apart in terms of size. Brendan Schaub is a trained fighter, let's not forget, even though it has been a long time since we've seen him put them gloves on. He is 6'4", he is 245 to Nate Diaz's 180. I mean, that's a pretty significant weight difference. Take out any cutting of the weight, Nate probably walks around at best, if I'm being super generous, I'll say 200 pounds. But more likely it's like 190, 195, if anything. But yeah, Nate Diaz is not this big dude. He doesn't even usually carry a lot of weight, He runs triathlons. He eats a good diet. Like, he's not a big heavyweight. He's never been a heavyweight. He's never even fought at, like, middleweight. You know what I'm saying? The only time he even fought at 180 was against Jake Paul, and he didn't look good against Jake Paul, So it's just one of those things, man. Craig Jones has already shown interest in this, saying that he would love to have them on the Craig Jones Invitational, the next one that comes out, and I would love to see it. I think we have something here. This is something that people would watch. This is something that would generate views. You got Brendan Schaub on the podcast. He's going to be talking crazy, hyping it up. Nate Diaz is going to be doing whatever he's doing to hype it up, and I think it'll definitely move the needle for sure. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Whose side are you on? I mean, how could you possibly be? This is a question for the viewer, right? If you disagree with me, if you don't want to be on Brendan Schaub's side, how could you possibly be on Nate Diaz's side other than the fact that you just hate Brendan Schaub, right? I mean, okay, I guess, but outside of that, how could you possibly be on Nate Diaz's side? He was unprompted. He was unprovoked. Nate Diaz just decided to, you know, post about him on social media the way he did, which was a very disrespectful way. And I believe he deserved all of the backlash that Brendan gave him. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, whether you agree, disagree. It doesn't matter. Just join the discussion, follow for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.